heart-pounding.
Whoa!
Drenched in sweat. And no excuses.
Excellent, great swing.
We really wanted to make sure that it's accessible to everyone. That includes blind or visually impaired.
These are the greatest workouts in America.
He's the only blind person that's ever summited Everest.
Dunk-Ademics.
8th grade science teacher. During my weekends and summers, I'm a professional dunker.
Virtual reality workouts.
It's gonna give you an exhaustive workout, but in a good way.
And Bollywood burning calories.
It's so amazing to see people just come to life.
This is Pumped. First stop, Indiana.
I walked up to the coach in my cheerleading outfit and said, I want to be a boxer.
Know that I can do this.
I left my hometown to go fight for a world title and actually brought it back.
I know that I could prove them wrong.
I always knew I would see this moment, I didn't know when. So to actually have the title, I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be now. I've been boxing 20 years and finally I have the piece of the puzzle that was always missing.
I never felt so strong.
I was 13 and a half. I was in high school doing cheerleading at that time. And it was a guy that I liked. He said, well, I'm going to the boxing gym. And I lived in Gary, so I was like, we don't have a boxing gym in Gary. And he was like, yes, we do. So I followed him to the boxing gym. And I walked up to the coach in my cheerleading outfit and said, I want to be a boxer. So he had me box 3 days after I was there. I got beat up like pretty bad. And it kind of made me intrigued to want to learn how to fight the proper way.
So I know that I can do this. Yeah, I know that I can prove them wrong.
When I first started, I trained myself pretty much. I would sit in the mirror and imitate other guys that I saw in the ring or on the bag, and I would try to do what they were doing. And the coach ended up putting me into a tournament, and I had to fight a girl Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I ended up beating all 3 girls, and that's when I finally got my coach to pay me some attention. After that tournament, after those 9 months that I spent by myself, I realized how much love I had for it and determination to be good. My boxing name is Merciless. The coach gave it to me because when I would fight, I would just throw punches and not stop throwing punches. And he was like, I'm just gonna call you Merciless because no matter what's happening, you're always throwing punches. You never stop. When I'm in the ring, it's a lot of nerves somewhat, but then it's the place where I feel, how do I humbly say, great? Like I feel like I could conquer anything in the ring. And victory is like, it just feels good to get the win because you realize that your hard work is paying off. Never give up and never be discouraged because you'll have bumps in the road. It's all part of the journey and it all makes you stronger when it comes to time to face your biggest fears or your biggest challenges. So my advice to anybody is if you really feel a passion in your heart, never give up on it.
I never felt so strong.
Up next, a Fresno teacher taking science to the basketball court.
2, 1. Can I get everybody's attention real quick? And we'll go into Newton's laws and we talk about equal and opposite. If, let's say, you're taking the ball out of someone's hands, if you know this principle, you can apply a force down and you get a force back. And that way you get a little boost into the air and you can kind of do the much more technical tricks. It took the Earth a really long time to form things. My name is Jonathan Clark. I am an 8th grade science teacher, and during my weekends and summers, I'm a professional dunker. So I've always had a passion for basketball. My mom played Division I basketball at Pepperdine. I was a really small guy when I first started out in high school. I was a late bloomer, so basketball kind of wasn't my sport. Through some hard work and a little bit of a growth spurt, I ended up, earning a scholarship to UCLA where I ran track. I was a 2-time All-American triple jumper there. I tore my ACL. When that happened, that really opened my eyes to, the fragileness of my body. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do this for forever, and I ended up going back to school. I got my master's in kinesiology, and to help pay for grad school, I started substitute teaching. And day 1 of being in the classroom, I kind of fell in love with it. I remember going to lunch and calling my wife and just telling her, like, I think I'm going to be a teacher, so I just never look back. Nobody wants to take it home for homework? I just kind of found a passion to play basketball again, and after games, I would just throw down slam dunks and I would post them on my Instagram, not thinking much of it, and over time, I gained more followers and people kind of wanted to see more dunks, and kind of led me down this path of, traveling the world and doing different dunk contests. More than anything is just really showing my students that you can be passionate about something, you can pursue goals and have dreams in it. Nothing is ever impossible. So 10 years from now, I want my student to come to my class and say, Mr. Clark, I found my passion in underwater basket weaving, and I pursued that, and I do that for a living, and I enjoy it rather than NASA scientists, if that's something that they don't find that they're passionate about. At the end of the day, I want my students to be passionate about things and pursue their passions, whatever avenue or field of endeavor that is.
You're watching Pumped. New York is next.
When I wake up every morning, I say, this is going to be the best day of my life. And it always is.
Tao is the last person alive today who's marched with both Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr.
I came all the way from India just to meet Tao, and it was on my bucket list, and I was able to strike it off, in fact celebrate her birthday, wish her, and practice yoga with her, and how blessed am I? Oh my.
And have you studied with Tao before?
I have not. I've been following her on social media, on Instagram. I can't do a lot of the positions that she has been able to accomplish, and I'm a quarter of her age.
Hello, everybody. Hey. How are you? I'm 101 years old today. I love yoga, and I love dancing, and yoga is the dance of life. And so when I do it, if I can pass that joy on to other people, then I have a reason to be on this earth. I've been doing yoga since I was 7 years old in the northern part of India.
She teaches amazing physical alignment cues that will change your practice and shift your body, but she teaches it with the joy. And that's what she focuses on, Ananda, the joy, the bliss in yoga. Anything you can do it with love, you can do it with joy.
When I come out, this is not it. This is pushing me down. This is it. First of all, when I wake up every morning, I say, this is going to be the best day of my life. And it always is. See, today, so special.
When you start your day with that kind of gratitude, the universe has no option but to conspire and make it so. She has this way of touching people's lives, and it's not false humility. It is absolutely her truth when she says, I hope I have something to teach them. Every single time I assist her, I still learn something new.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tao. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
So she always says, when you have a desire to do something in your heart, do it, but do it today, because procrastination is the only sin. If you put it off till tomorrow, tomorrow never comes.
Because 1 minute after midnight, it's already today. So what you want to do and what you believe in, that you think is right, go and do it.
It's good advice.
All of her advice is good advice.
Later, a workout taking you to another reality.
What? Your body is the controller. Any exercise that you do is actually an attack inside the game.
You're watching Pumped. Let's head to San Francisco.
Black Box is essentially a virtual reality fitness gym. So you actually put on a headset.
So not used to this.
You go into VR.
Whoa!
And you play this immersive video game. Punch the red, punch the blue, karate chop.
Oh my God.
Your body is the controller.
What?
Any exercise that you do is actually an attack inside the game.
This is way better than that Dance Dance Revolution.
It's really giving people a chance to find something totally different that can help them adhere to their fitness goals. Ryan DeLuca and Preston Lewis, they have a background coming from bodybuilding.com. They came together and they're like, there's something here with virtual reality in fitness. And they actually started out with a VR controller duct taped to a dumbbell. We actually are membership based. So you come in just like a regular fitness studio. You go into your own personal booth and do a 30-minute resistance workout.
Ready for battle. Here we go. So I'm in a giant futuristic arena in a cave.
And so you're on one side of the arena and your opponent is on the other side of the arena. How you do that is by your attacks in the game, which are your exercises. You're shooting out a meteor every single time you're doing an overhead press.
I see.
And you're doing cardio, resistance training, cardio. It's 30 minutes, but you are nonstop going.
Oh my gosh. This really is a workout.
Yes, it's gonna give you an exhaustive workout, but in a good way.
Oh my God, this is really hard.
So it's really gonna push you to your limit. Your competitiveness tends to come out more so than you would ever expect.
Gonzo mode.
Double damage. You will push just that extra little bit. It's that itching feeling, right, of wanting to win. The large portion of what is so unique about Black Box is our data collection and our AI inside the game.
Oh, maintain proper form. It knows I'm not using proper form.
It can detect.
Oh my God, I can't do this.
Let it go. Good job. Okay. Our machine actually tracks everything that you do inside the workout. You'll go to your stats section right here, and then you can see your battle log. You could actually see how many reps you're doing, how many sets you're doing in an instant right after your workout. So then your next workout is even more personalized to you.
There's so much happening around me that I'm forgetting that I'm exercising.
That's the whole point, right? Because you're so immersed, 30 minutes normally tends to feel like 10 to 15 minutes for a lot of people.
It goes by very fast.
So what did you think about the experience as a whole?
It was awesome. I felt like I was a superhero.
Boom, you did it. Yeah, you did it. Good job.
As soon as I was done, I could not wait to come back so that way I could beat the other characters.
Up next, a retired NASA engineer defies the odds.
I'm blind, I did the Machu Picchu hike. Pretty much anything is possible.
And later, a new program in Queens helping the visually impaired get on the court.
Tennis has always been fearful for me to play because the ball's so little, you can't see it.
You're watching Pumped. We're headed to Texas.
So we started just doing dance classes. And then I was tinkering around with doing a workout, and it went over so well that we realized we should make it into an actual fitness program.
One more time!
And then we created the workout as it is today.
This looks like fun. Let's go try.
The Bollywood workout. Now it's expanded not just nationally, but internationally. It really takes the fundamentals of Bollywood and various Indian styles of dance, and we infuse all of that together to make sure that it's also using your muscles as you do each of the movements.
Take it behind you, hamstring curls.
So we really want to make sure that the workout aspect is there and the authenticity of where it's coming from.
So it works out perfect for me. It gets me a little bit of a workout, I sweat a lot, but also it gets me my Bollywood side and a little bit dancing in me. So
it's very important to find something that's fun, but it's like it's a family here.
I think the feeling behind the workout and what we encourage our instructors to bring out of people is almost more important than the workout itself.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going.
It's so amazing to see people just really come to life over time. You can see it in their faces, you can just see it in the freedom behind their movement. For some reason, the people that are drawn there are just, I feel like Houston's best people. Like everyone has a huge heart, so many different cultures and backgrounds, and that's really the beauty behind it.
It is nuts. It is nuts. You sweat, you're exhausted, but you feel so good at the end. That hour just goes by so fast, and you actually don't realize how many calories you burn.
Really cool to be able to take the class from Kajal because she started Dunya, and you don't really get that opportunity elsewhere.
I mean, I think now you can just call me a dance and movement instructor.
Have a favorite spot to get pumped? Tell us on social media. You're watching Pumped. We're headed to Texas.
I'm blind. I've been doing all kinds of activities to stay in shape. I enjoy working out and training. There is life after vision loss. You know, it may not seem like it at the time, but with a little assistance, pretty much anything is possible.
A rock on the left and another rock on the left.
I did the Machu Picchu hike. Went to Colorado, I think 4 or 5 times for hiking, and I also enjoy cross-country skiing. Certainly you can live a full life with any kind of disability. Vision loss started in my late 20s. Both my mother, grandmother, and one of my mother's sisters had glaucoma. I thought it was probably a good chance I might be getting it. So after 10 years, my left eye started getting worse. I continued to function with one fairly good eye up until about 2006. After I lost vision in my second eye, I initially went through a time of depression for about 6-7 months. I never even would leave the house. I was just, thinking that my life was over. I wasn't going to be able to, really do anything anymore. I happened to be looking at a YouTube video. There was a guy named Eric Weinmeier. He's the only blind person that's ever summited Mount Everest. When I heard his story, that kind of gave me a little kick in the butt to get up, get out of the house. Prior to my glaucoma and my vision loss, I did a little bit of hiking. I mean, not to the extent that I did since then. I've been able to take those on after my vision loss, and found ways to adapt and to be able to accomplish those and have just a really good time doing it. I got involved with a group called Achilles International, and I knew that they, assisted people with disabilities to basically go out and do any kind of physical activity that you want to do. And so once I got involved with them and started doing some of the activities with them, that's when I started thinking more about that image of, seeing Eric Weinmeier climbing Mount Everest started coming back to me. Hiking into Machu Picchu, we knew that we wanted to do roughly a 4 or 5 day hike, and it turned out that the classic Inca Trail, and that was the one that I really had my heart set on. It's a 4-day hike.
6. Yep.
As we reached the summit, I guess I wasn't even aware that I was getting there, and then all of a sudden Bernie says, "You made it, Michael." A lot of the other hikers had been passing us, and so they had intentionally waited at the top for me to make it up there. And I, actually started, tearing up when I heard them clapping and applauding for me there. I started a blog, seenobarriers.org, primarily for the blind, but also really anybody, just to empower them. What I have most passion for, especially since I've retired, started a nonprofit organization called iBug. We started helping blind, visually impaired to learn how to use the different Apple products. And so, just being able to do all those things, working out, traveling, spending time with my family, people Sometimes blind other people with disabilities think they might not be able to do things, but certainly you can live a full life.
You're watching Pumped. New York is next.
And swing. There you go. Nice shot. Very good. Yep, you got it all the way through. Excellent. Great swing.
It's incredibly rewarding to teach this group of players. You know, you don't get to teach a group of players like this every day, and it's great to give them this physical activity where they might not get it otherwise.
I started hitting the ball more and more. Yes! And I started like getting that just sense of accomplishment every single time I hit the ball. So it feels good. And not only that, it's great to like socialize with all the other tennis players, and it becomes a team effort, and I love that.
I'm visually impaired myself, and tennis has always been kind of fearful for me to play because the ball's so little, you can't see it. So to know that there's a program where you don't have to worry about so much seeing it, you can hear it, that's amazing.
Good.
It's a level of impairment that makes certain things difficult in life,
yes.
Right? But when you get on a tennis court,
it's a total different subject. Because that ball, I can hear it with the bells and I can swing it back over the net.
We really wanted to adapt the game and make sure that it's accessible to everyone. That includes athletes who are blind or visually impaired.
The level of concentration on their part has to be tremendously high because the balls that we use for this program have a bell in them, and they have to hear the bell hit the ground, and they have to time their swing with the sound of the ball hitting the ground. A lot of this is about audio cues and timing, which for any tennis player is important.
Tell me about it. Right.
For them, it's even more important.
When you see them making shots, when you see them rallying, what's that like?
The smile that we can see the first time an athlete who is blind or visually impaired, the first time that they make contact with the ball is really unbelievable.
Coming up, the Bollywood-inspired workout that will have you kicking Zumba to the curb.
It really takes the fundamentals of Bollywood. We really want to make sure that the workout aspect is there and the authenticity.